Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2025. How's that sound?
Relieving, yes. It's finally it's a relief for sure. I'll be honest, I don't know that the totality of it sunk in yet. Probably sure will later, but just because I've kind of had an expectation, especially after when you're a first ballot finalist and then you're just continually being on the finals list, there comes an expectation that you're going to get in one day. But no, it's fun, it's exciting. I wish it would have happened like in a city that I don't have so much trauma in, from New Orleans. But other than that, it's been great.
You get to rewrite those memories.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right? Something really, really good happening here. How did you find out? How'd they tell you?
They do the old knock. So I think I spoiled it for them though because my dogs were barking. So I went to the front door to see who was on the property. And I saw Steve standing there in a gold jacket.
Hutchinson,
right? Yeah. And I'm like, well, I figured this is probably the knock. Which is bad because I was actually gonna make them wait. If I heard someone knocking at my door, I was gonna close the outer gates and make the camera and make them knock like 5 times. I mean, y'all made me wait 5 years. I'm gonna make you wait. Make you wait before I answer this door. That's how I found out. So I had an inkling just because they try to surprise you with things.
Sure.
And we're always going around with kids and. My PR lady, she was like, I'm gonna be in Nashville. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Interesting timing, huh?
Interesting timing. Well, that, and you start to figure out what days you get the call that you didn't make it. And, so I'm like, all right.
Okay.
If I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna have to be there probably early in the week because they gotta book travel, they gotta get some things settled on. So I was like Tuesday, told him, I was like, well, I should probably know the next day or so where it goes. But it was good, it was fun. It's always, like I said, it became more of a relief. Like, okay, finally the anticipation and the wait's over. When
do you think you'll feel that emotional release of being in that position?
I don't know that I will because, like I told, when I was talking with Jim Porter and everybody, I'm like, the gold jacket is such a tremendous honor. It really is, right? The process can be frustrating. But I didn't play the game for the gold jacket. So my goals were never to be in the Hall of Fame. I figured if I played the game, because I played for the respect of my peers and the respect of those who played before me, right? And I just constantly always wanted to chase greatness. And so, if I accomplish those three things, then the Hall of Fame is a byproduct of what I put on the field. So I guess I don't know if it's gonna have this like overwhelming like emotional toll. I think one thing I do think of is like there's no more awards I can win. You know what I mean? Like this is it as far as football goes. So yeah, I don't know because that was never, and I'd be curious to see what other Hall of Famers how their mindset is because some guys this means a lot for them. For me, it doesn't change my life.
Well, what do you think it says about your legacy?
Oh, I definitely cement your legacy. That's a thing. I think it's a nod to you do it the right way, right? I think it's a what's the word I'm looking at? It's a reassurance. It's a missing the word, but it's just kind of like, hey, you played it right, right? And so for me, that's what I take out. I can look back and say, you know what? I played this game my way. I tried to honor those, like I said before. Respect those I played against, and I did it the right way, and this is the payoff. And so, from a legacy standpoint, it's great. You're cemented in football immortality, which is great. And I think so for me that once I get to Canton, I'll probably soak in. Or once I get to be in the room and see, because to me I'm a history guy, so I've never been to Canton, never seen that. So to be surrounded by the greats, present, past, and just see the bus and just be in the room and be able to kind of take in the history of it. I think that'll have a more emotional effect on me.
You're a big family guy.
Yeah.
This has got to mean so much to you as a dad. The thought that your daughters could walk through there and see your bus, your grandkids, all of that. How do you take that in?
That'll probably hit me when I get up there. I think for me too, the cool part is like my kids were young when I retired. I think my oldest was only like 4. And so for her, she's 13 now, right? And so it's like for them to see, we were in Minnesota for the Ring of Honor, they were like, Dad, like why are these people like calling your name? Like
they're wearing your
Dad, because I'm just Dad, right? So I think it's for them to see a different perspective of that or different side of that. It's cool. Although when we went to London, they could care less about me. They just wanted to make sure they signed, got everybody's autograph on the entire team. So we fanboyed it out after the London game. We got autograph after autograph after autograph. But for that, I think it's great. I think, again, just the recognition of, hey, job well done, And not that there's, I'm not saying guys that don't get this honor don't have a job well done, but for me personally, I look back just of how hard I played, why I played, and like I said, this just happens to be a result of all, the right reasons, all the hard work you put in, during your playing years.
Do you start writing the speech?
No, I like to wing it. I probably won't be allowed to wing it. I'm sure I'll have to do something. I've had like a whole different variations every year, depending on like how pissed I was when I didn't get in. I'm gonna call everybody out. For me, I don't know. I think I try to live my life to where people know I appreciate them. I don't know if thank yous are enough, but I think, there's always a long list of people to thank. But I'm sure, Vikings will supply me with ample speechwriters if I need them.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sure I'll go through the process, a few drafts.
I thought my Ring of Honor speech was great, and I was off the cusp. Yes. So I thought it was off the cusp, that was great. So I'll figure something out.
Well, you bring up Ring of Honor, which, you set the bar high. Your retirement speech, or your retirement video involved riding off in the sunset on a horse. You rode in on the horse in the Ring of Honor. Like, what's next for them?
Hall of Fame gets creative.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
You got some ideas?
I don't. Well, I know Tom Canavy has some ideas.
Okay.
So no joke, Tom Canavy probably 3 years ago, and people watching, Tom Canavy is one of our old strength coaches with the Vikings when I was there. And I think he's literally already bought like a 1976 Trans Am. And he's like, we are fully just Burt Reynoldsing this into Canton. I got my Cadillac. Thought about driving my Cadillac up. We'll see. They might want to try to copy the horse in the parade. I don't know.
It'll be pretty fun.
I don't know what T West, Tom West again, the brainchild behind my spectacular entrance into the Ring of Honor. So maybe the Vikings will have some cool thoughts about it.
Yeah. Well, you've got a while until then. I mean, you've got a lot of appearances, events, moments. What are you most looking forward to about the process of
it to be
getting
over.
Announced to the Really?
I'm big in routines, right? Okay. So my routine is like completely thrown right now.
It is, yes.
Everybody's like, this is why I keep it a secret and stuff, because everybody's like, you're going to the Super Bowl? Everybody knows I don't go to the Super Bowl. I don't, unless you're paying me astronomical amount of money to go to the Super Bowl. I got a routine. I got my life is planned out. I think, to be honest, I think spending time with the other Hall of Famers is what I'm looking forward to the most, right? Getting to have intimate conversations with guys that I don't know. I mean, I know via just because I'm a fan of the game, right?
Yeah, you're heroes.
And stuff like that. Not even heroes, because I don't think it's a whole nother probably issue, but I don't think people should hear. I don't think football players and athletes should be people's heroes, right?
Sure.
For me, I grew up. My hero was my grandfather and my dad. You know what I mean? And I get not everybody has positive role models in their lives, and so it can be. I think we are role models, absolutely, and we should set a standard for athletic. But I mean, you don't know what people are like, Yeah.
Anyone in particular you would really want to meet?
Yeah, I think some of them off the top of my head aren't with us anymore, so that sucks. But again, Deacon Jones, I got to spend a brief second or two with at a award ceremony back in like 09-10, and I was stoked that he even knew my name, so that was cool. And then at that one, Jack Youngblood actually presented me for Defensive Lineman of the Year, and I didn't know Jack. They asked me who I wanted to present me, and I just threw Youngblood's name out, and he said he would do it. And so, like, this is how awesome Jack is over the years, we randomly will email. I've never never seen him in person again. I've never talked to him on the phone, but I'll get a random email from him, over the course of my career. I haven't heard from him in some years. So I'm really looking forward to catching up with him.
From him again now, right?
And, but I would get random emails just telling me like, hey, he appreciated the way I played the game and stuff like that. So again, those are the kind of things that I think are going to mean the most to me through this process. And so it wasn't no slight on like you guys about heroes and stuff like that. I don't view these guys as heroes. I mean, to me, they were people that I was setting goals to try to chase. Right? These are great players. So I think you have admiration for them. I just think of heroes as people that directly impact your life and that directly, that you want to model yourself after. So from a standpoint, some of these guys, I guess, were professional heroes, if you would, because you model your game after some of the stuff they do. But for me, it was more of, back to what I originally said, of obtaining their respect. So I respected the way they played. I watched film of these guys play, so I wanted to play a style of game that they would want to watch, that they would respect. And so, I think that's what I'm looking forward to mostly is to be able to go up and shake their hands and be peers with them now, right?
That is really cool.
We're guys that, we're the younger generation, you're kind of constantly chasing. Now you're kind of all plateaued and you get to hang out.
Now there are guys trying to chase.
100%. I'm not that fast, so they'll probably catch me.
Now your bust will be alongside so many of the greats, and I wanted to really pick your brain. Have you decided what you want yours to look like? The look mullet. We're going for?
Full mullet. Honestly, the picture of me riding in on the horse into at the Ring of Honor, I don't keep bringing up the Ring of Honor. I mean, my hair was epic right there. I was flowing out the back. So yeah, it'll definitely be full mullet. Nice. Maybe with like a younger hairline though. Like maybe 25 hairline. True. That's a close. That could be. That's an homage to the original one. The racing stripes were pretty bad.
So you have a lot of options. I feel like you have a lot of options.
And then it'll come down to what my wife decides.
Okay, there you go. Yes, of course. I mean, they have to look at it. It'll be etched in time forever, right? How do you feel like this honor caps off your time in Minnesota?
Oh, it's funny. I actually was talking to someone the other day. It wasn't about Minnesota, but it was about the Chiefs. And they were like, it feels like you were there a lot longer than 4 years. And I have that same feeling in Minnesota. I feel like I played my whole career in Minnesota, like 12 years. It was only 6 years. But I think Minnesota was the right place, the right time for all the right reasons. And, as for not only for professionally, but personally, and the people I've met from top down in the organization and that impacted my life. So for this, there's no greater honor than to be able to go in as a Viking, just because of the situation I came out of in Kansas City, and for them to put making me the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, to put give up all the draft picks and to put that kind of stake with the organization behind me that had already had some bad press in the years before. Really meant a lot to me. And then to even in towards the end to let me play out my contract in totality, which I know that's not the standard a lot of times in the NFL and at the time with Rick. So I love Rick and Rob. I love the direction that the team's in now with Kwesi and KO and everybody. So like I said, I just think the Wolves do a fantastic job of hiring quality human beings. So for me to have this honor and for the Vikings family to be a part of it, I think it's the perfect ending. Unfortunately, we didn't get to win a championship, which would have been the best thing, to bring the Lombardi Trophy to Minnesota. But at least from a personal standpoint, from an individual standpoint, they now can also say we didn't screw that one up, right? You know what I mean? Every organization has someone they screw up. I did not want to be that one for Minnesota, so. Gold jacket now, hopefully you all can appreciate it.
I think they do. You have so many fans in Minnesota, and this is such a well-deserved honor. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.